Hello, everybody. It's been a little while, and here I am. I'm back, and I'm here to give a review of the first arc of Higurashi Nonaku Go. When this started coming out, the first episode came out, and then the second episode came out, and everyone was up in arms. Well, everyone's telling all the new people to watch the old series. I figured I'd watch the whole arc, then I'd give my opinion, see where it goes a little bit. I still have no clue, obviously, where it's going to go after, but I'm excited to see. So, in this in this arc, we have Keiichi, and he's new to this town called Hinamizawa, and he goes to a funeral, and he comes back, and he's hanging out with his friends. They play zombie tag. They play a game where they've got to find a marker, and they have these punishments, and then they go to the cotton drifting festival, and then Keiichi gets stabbed 30 times and hits Reno with an alarm clock, a bedroom alarm clock that was in the living room, and that's how it ends. Keiichi lives, and Rena dies, and then he gets interviewed by some people. But it happens very differently from the original series, and everybody who watched the original series thought that this was going to be a remake. So that's what I was talking about before. This is actually a sequel. So everybody was saying that this should not be watched by new people. And I think that it's okay. Because I've been watching this other guy. I forget what his name is, but I'll put a link to his YouTube channel in the description. I've been watching him do reviews of the Higurashi episode by episode, and a lot of the things that he's saying about Higurashi and the mystery are a lot of things that I was saying the first time I watched it. And that's the thing that convinced me that it's okay for newcomers. Because this guy, he has never seen it, and he is confused over the exact same stuff I was confused about. And I bet you next episode he's going to be even more confused, same way I was confused. They wrote it in a way that new people will be confused about all this. The experience will be very similar, but it's also going to be different. Like Rena going crazy and stabbing Keiichi. If you haven't seen the original series, then that's more obvious that that's going to happen than if you have seen the original series. Because if you haven't seen the original series, then you just say Rena going all crazy and acting all weird. Like, you'd expect her to go crazy and stab Keiichi. But if you have seen the original series, then you would know that Keiichi was actually going crazy in that first arc, and Rena was trying to help Keiichi. But, and especially since in this series, it looked like Keiichi didn't have Hinamizawa syndrome, or he wasn't suffering from the heavy effects of it, it would be very surprising for someone who knows what happened in the original, where it wouldn't be as surprising for someone who didn't know. It would be more obvious that would happen. And that's a cool way that the experience is different from the original so far. Just stuff that I've noticed, like other people saying that for someone who's watched the show, we still don't know what's going on, but we don't know what's going on in a different way. And I think it's fine. And I'm glad that I waited until the end of the first arc and looked at things, looked at how people were reacting before giving my take. But that's how I feel. about that issue. I think that anyone can watch this, new or old, so far, and I'm going to stick with that. Because especially where I'm expecting the next arc to go is it's probably going to do what this arc did and almost follow the same stuff that happened. I'm going to assume that Keiichi gives the doll to Mion, which would trigger a different series of events. I figure that the doll scene is going to be changed, and that's where the trigger happens for different things. Other than that, I have no clue what could happen, and I could be wrong about the doll thing. So, what do I think of the first arc? Well, differences. The first episode was almost exactly the same as the first episode of the original series, except they left out the part where it's explaining Keiichi, where Keiichi is explaining why he teaches Mion and Rena and how the town's set up, and they don't explain any of that stuff, which they did in the original anime. But it allows for more cool little details, like they added in more opening shots of the main characters, and you get to see Rika looking at the calendar, and Sachiko asks what's wrong, and she's like, oh, nothing, which that's a cool little detail. And so yeah, it's very similar, but they have a few more things in it. And then starting in episode 2, obviously there's a really big difference at the beginning with Rika and Hanyu and the shards, older Rika. That's very interesting. I want to see where they're going with that, but that's all we've seen of it so far. I hope I'm not disappointed. And Rika and Hanyu are talking, and this is when it becomes clear that she's already gone through the original series, and now she's coming back again. So then it goes back into it, and the big difference from this episode when it gets into the normal stuff is that Tomitake does not play with them. He does not play the game where they shoot the bear. He says he's busy or something. It's been a couple weeks since I saw that one, but he does not play. And then in the next episode, Keiichi sees Tomitake and Takano talking to each other, but he does not go over and talk to them like he did in the original. And Oishi is the one who tells him about the curse. And I don't remember too much that was different in that one. But something... I do know that Oishi tells Keiichi about Rena at Angel Mort in the original series, but in this one he's telling him about Rena while she's standing outside the door, and she actually really is this time. Didn't just come up, hear him on the phone, and turn around like she probably did in the original series. In this one, she's actually crazy, so she probably was listening. But yeah, that's a big difference. And then so many differences in the fourth episode, starting Keiichi doesn't go to school in the original one because he's sick, and he's going to do that in this one. But then when he goes to the clinic in the original one, he just got a shot or whatever from Dr. Irie. But in this one, the clinic's under renovations, so he can't go in. So then he goes to school and hangs out in a whole bunch of new scenes. Also, the door scene. In the original anime and in the original story, Keiichi slams the door shut on Rena's fingers. And the original first arc is really sad once you know what was really going on. But this arc, Keiichi just lets her in, just trusts her, and gets stabbed like 30 times. Which is pretty crazy. So, I didn't even think about what number I would give it. But out of 10, I would say 7 so far, and we'll see where it goes. It could get better. I'm going to give it room to get better because I feel like it could be better. So I'll give it a 7, and I hope it doesn't go down. I hope that when I come back here and review the second arc, that I'm not giving it a 6 or something. That score better be going up, okay? I'm giving it some room for improvement with a 7 because it was pretty good. I like it. And that's pretty much all that I have to say on it. See you guys later.